Hey there, pirates! Welcome aboard the Anime No Mi channel. Throughout his adventure, as a pirate aiming to become the world's greatest swordsman, Zoro has acquired several powerful swords to aid him in combat and in his pursuit of this dream. There are various powerful swords that Zoro could obtain before achieving his dream. Currently, the Enma and Wado Ichimonji swords that Zoro possesses are the strongest he has so far. It's possible that in the future, he might acquire a new sword, perhaps a Kitetsu blade, possibly the most powerful one ever crafted by the blacksmith who shares the same name. In today's video, we'll discuss the possibility of Zoro obtaining the most powerful sword ever forged, acquiring one of the most legendary swords of all time in Elbaf. I hope for your support to help our crew win, and to do so, you just need to click the thumbs up button, leave a like, and subscribe to the channel. By doing this, you will win an incredible devil fruit, so just comment which fruit you want. Guys, the Kitetsu blacksmiths are incredibly skilled, having forged some of the most powerful swords in the world of One Piece, which are recognized globally. They even made an extremely powerful sword that is currently lost somewhere in the vast world. Each of their blades is labeled as cursed because of its natural ability to claim the lives of its wielders. Apparently, these swords possess a certain consciousness about who is worthy of wielding them, allowing only certain swordsmen to handle them without losing their lives. As shown when Zoro first encountered the Sandai Kitetsu sword, despite hearing about the curse it carries, Zoro intentionally threw it into the air and placed his arm in the path where the sword would fall. The Sandai Kitetsu sword struck Zoro's arm with the side that doesn't have a blade, neither cutting him nor causing any injury. This proved that Zoro is one of the few people worthy of wielding a Kitetsu without losing his life. Since Kitetsu swords have the ability to choose their wielders, it was said that no one had used a Kitetsu sword in recent times. Some people became paranoid that if someone sold a Kitetsu sword and the curse took the new wielder's life, the sword would return to the seller. However, a person's luck can surpass the blade's curse, a feat considered extremely rare. As demonstrated by Zoro, his luck overcame the blade's curse. The shopkeeper was so impressed that he gave Zoro his family heirloom for free. Each of the swords was crafted by different generations of blacksmiths. With each generation, the swords created were weaker than their predecessors. This means that the first Kitetsu created was the most powerful sword ever made. The first Kitetsu we know of, and the most powerful, is the Shodai Kitetsu, a supreme grade sword, one of the 12 most powerful swords in the world of One Piece. This sword is compared to Mihawk's Yoru, Edward Newgate's Murakamogiri, which is now at his grave, and the ace sword that belonged to Roger, though its current whereabouts are unknown. Shodai Kitetsu is a very durable sword with great cutting power, capable of allowing its wielder to defeat extremely powerful enemies. However, since it's a cursed sword, few can wield and use it in combat. The second sword we know of is Nidai Kitetsu, an Owazamono grade sword created by the blacksmith Kotetsu. Finally, there's the Sandai Kitetsu, a Wazamono grade sword crafted by the blacksmith Kozuki Sukiyaki. We've always believed that at some point during the Straw Hat's journey, Zoro would acquire the Shodai Kitetsu during one of their adventures, finding it on some island and using it in battle. However, this changed when we learned who currently holds this sword. Zoro seems to prefer using Kitetsu swords, or is simply attracted to cursed swords. Previously, he already had a Kitetsu sword, and during the Wano arc, he tried to claim the Nidai Kitetsu for himself. But because Luffy grabbed the sword and later threw it away, Zoro was prevented from obtaining it. However, this might have been something planned by Oda, preventing Zoro from acquiring this sword because he already had plans to give him an even more powerful sword. And I'm not talking about Enma's evolution, this is a new cursed sword. This would be one of the 12 supreme grade swords, some of the most powerful in the world, crafted by highly skilled blacksmiths with vast knowledge of sword forging arts. Like all three Kitetsu swords, this one is considered cursed, but since Zoro has already wielded a Kitetsu sword and proven himself worthy, it means he could wield a supreme cursed blade without any problem. There's no danger for Zoro in wielding it, as he has an unshakable determination, which might be one of the reasons why the Kitetsu sword didn't cut his arm. As one of the supreme grade swords, it would be among the strongest and highest quality swords ever forged, being almost impossible to break and possessing an extremely lethal cutting ability, rivaling the Shodai Kitetsu of Ethan Baron Fertinus Juro. Possibly capable of cutting through anything, with the right wielder, this sword could become extremely powerful, making not only the sword, but also its wielder one of the most powerful characters in the world of One Piece. It's not exactly known where this sword is, as it has been a long time since it was last seen in anyone's hands. As mentioned before, supreme grade swords are rare, and among them, cursed ones are even rarer, as everyone fears using them. Having been missing from humanity for many years, there's a possibility that one of these swords could be in Elbaf, the island of giants. This location is incredibly dangerous and impossible to enter unless you have contact with one of the giants who live on the island. The giants of Elbaf are considered the most powerful army in the One Piece world, with highly trained and very strong warriors capable of destroying everything around them. Not even the Yonko dare to go against these mighty giant warriors. Many secrets and mysteries surround Elbaf, and the existence of a legendary sword could be one of those hidden secrets on the island. As we saw after the Wano arc, Elbaf is close to the country of Wano, an island that may have had many visits from Wano swordsmen who traveled to Elbaf in search of something. During these visits, one of the legendary swords may have fallen into the possession of the giants of Elbaf, making the sword extremely rare to find, as Elbaf is not an easy island to enter. With Zoro's arrival in Elbaf, there's a possibility that he could find one of these swords somewhere on the island, perhaps in a completely hidden location or in the possession of a giant who keeps it guarded. It's inevitable that at some point in the story of One Piece, the Straw Hats will go to Elbaf. This island holds many pieces of information that they will need to uncover, especially because Saul is in Elbaf and still alive. This means that the Straw Hats, now that they're on this island, could learn the history of one of these blades, and Zoro could come to possess it. By obtaining the knowledge written in the books that the giants were able to collect from Ohara after the island was destroyed by the Marines' Buster Call many years ago, they could unlock new mysteries. These books contain very important information about the poneglyphs, possibly even revealing the name of the kingdom destroyed over 800 years ago, that had technology far more advanced than what exists today. As the Egghead arc concludes, we'll see the Straw Hats heading to Elbaf to learn more about the past and gather information on how they can find the Last Road poneglyph, which will reveal the final location of the One Piece treasure. During his journey in Elbaf, Zoro may somehow find his supreme grade sword, adding it to his three-sword style. This would allow Zoro to become even more powerful. With three extremely powerful swords in his possession, each with immense cutting potential, Zoro could gradually reach the same level as Mihawk, enabling him to face the world's greatest swordsman in a duel and eventually defeat him using his three extremely powerful swords. But what do you think about this? Do you think Zoro might obtain a sword in Elbaf? That was today's content. We hope you liked it and want to share your opinion on the subject. Don't forget to share the video, give it a thumbs up, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care and stay amazing.